The entrance gate. Look at the architecture. The Bahay Nabato represents the Principalia class, the educated elite. In this room, Rizal's mother, Teodora Alonso, taught him his first prayers and the alphabet. Calamba was the foundation of Rizal's identity. The peaceful agrarian setting, contrasted with the later agrarian disputes with the Dominican friars, planted the first seeds of his resentment against colonial injustice. Significance. Calamba was the foundation of Rizal's identity. The peaceful agrarian setting, contrasted with the later agrarian disputes with the Dominican friars, planted the first seeds of his resentment against colonial injustice. The dining rooms. In the 19th century, the dining room was the center of social status. The Mercado family was part of the Principalia, the educated upper class. Sitting at these tables, young Jose listened to his father and elder brother, Paciano, discuss current events, including the liberal ideas trickling in from Europe. Significance. Ateneo. The intellectual discipline seen in this home prepared him for the Ateneo Municipal. It was his foundation here that allowed him to excel in Manila, where he proved that a Filipino could master philosophy and science just as well as any Spaniard. The bedrooms. Girls' bedroom. Jose grew up surrounded by 9 sisters. Their influence taught him the importance of women's education, a theme he would later champion. Boys' bedroom. Here, Jose and Paciano shared more than just a room. They shared a vision for the Philippines. Paciano was Jose's first link to the revolutionary spirit. Parents' bedroom. This was the room of Francisco and Teodora. It represents the traditional Filipino family, values of piety and strict discipline. Significance. Madrid. The comfort of these rooms stands in stark contrast to Rizal's later life in Madrid, where he lived in poverty while writing Noli Me Tangere to expose the social cancer of his homeland. The basement and galleries. These lower levels once stored harvest and carriages, but today they serve as a bridge to Rizal's later life. The galleries showcase his travels, his medical tools, and his revolutionary writings. Significance. Dapitan and Fort Santiago. Dapitan. While the Spanish authorities intended for Dapitan to be a prison that would silence Rizal, he transformed it into a social laboratory. Drawing from the diverse skills he first cultivated in Calamba, from engineering to education, he became a true community builder. He established a school for local boys, teaching them languages and mathematics, while designing a gravity-fed water system to bring clean water to the town residents. In Dapitan, Rizal proved that nationalism wasn't just about writing novels or debating in Europe, it was about the hands-on work of improving the lives of his fellow Filipinos. Fort Santiago. The journey that began in this house ended in a cell at Fort Santiago, where he wrote his final farewell, Mi Ultimo Adios, cementing his legacy as the national hero. Rizal's father, Francisco Mercado, built a library of over 1,000 volumes here. This room was Rizal's gateway to the world. In the garden, he played like any child, but he also spent hours in quiet contemplation. It was here that he wrote his first poem, Sa Aking Mga Kabata, expressing an early love for his native tongue. Reflecting on José Rizal's journey, I've realized that his nationalism wasn't just a sudden feeling. It was a map built piece by piece through the places he lived. In Calamba, he didn't just see a beautiful hometown, he saw the injustice of land disputes. This taught him that love for a country begins with defending one's own community. When he moved to the Ateneo, his education wasn't just for grades, it was his intellectual armor. He proved that the Filipino mind was equal to any in the world, breaking the colonial myth of inferiority. His exile in Dapitan is what resonates with me most. It showed that a patriot doesn't just write or complain, he builds. By constructing a school and a water system, he proved that true reform is practical and local. Finally, his time in Fort Santiago and his ultimate sacrifice at Bagumbayan weren't the end of a journey, but the final seal on his ideals. Rizal's life teaches us that our own journey, our education, our travels, and our skills must eventually serve a purpose higher than ourselves. His legacy challenges us today. How are we using our own journeys to help shape our nation?